Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson. And in today's video, man, I'm going to be talking about some potential players that the Dallas Cowboys should trade for preseason roster cutdowns, which takes place on Monday. I believe that the Dallas Cowboys, again, I'm making another video discussing that the Dallas Cowboys should be making moves to try and make their team that much better, because in 2 weeks, we have to go play our rivals in the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night in front of everybody in the world to watch. And I don't believe that we're fully equipped to play that type of team with the way that the roster is currently constructed. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. First, I'm talking about the Micah Parsons situation and what's really been coming out. My prediction, I do think that a contract does get done next week. Why? Because they did the same thing with Micah Parsons, not Micah Parsons, but CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb got his deal done August 26, 2024. They got it done a week before the season. I think the same thing is going to happen with Micah Parsons. I will be shocked if Micah Parsons misses any game checks because of this whole contract negotiation or anything like that. I doubt he misses significant time. If or when he does get his contract before the season, it's going to be great. Dallas is going to die down a little bit. Some fans are going to be content. But with me, the reason why I don't like the contract to be so late is because Micah Parsons is a player and he plays the position the right way, but not only that, he plays such a physically tough, demanding position. He plays defensive end. He has to deal with guys that are 100 pounds, 120 pounds heavier than him. He has to deal with running backs clipping him in his kidneys, in his oblique, and just trying to take him out in different ways. And he hasn't been doing anything physically. And there's a difference between working out on your own, and there's a difference between that and football shape. He hasn't been in enough football shape, in my opinion, because he set out a month of training camp of actual time running on that grass in Oxnard, running on that turf that they're doing in Frisco to get acclimated to the season. So it'll be dumb for the Dallas Cowboys. It already is, but it'll be dumb to extend him like on a Monday or a Tuesday. Now he has less than a week to get prepared for the season and get in football shape to get ready for the game. And then you're going to throw him out there on Thursday and give him 60 snaps. They're going to try and do that to prove a point that, oh, he isn't worth the money that we give him, and da-da-da-da. That's what they're going to try and play that first game. But I think it's kind of stupid that we're waiting this long. I know it's stupid in what we're doing right now. Not we, that the Joneses are doing. But that's my quick take. The deal is going to get done because it has to get done. Now, the players, now get into what we're talking about, the meat and potatoes of this video. The first player that I want the Dallas Cowboys to go ahead and trade for is Brian Robinson Jr. That's a very hot name that is available right now. What I saw from Ricky, which is that has the dog as his profile picture, he was the one that broke the news of George Pickens to be on our team. He broke the news. He was the first person to know that George Pickens was going to be a Dallas Cowboy. And that sent everybody in a frenzy at 10, 11 o'clock at night, right before most of us went to bed, to find out that we got George Pickens in like 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, right? So it has been linked that the Niners, the Dolphins, Cowboys, and the Texans, I want to say those are the 4 teams that are interested in trading for Commanders running back Brian Robinson. But right now it's being led out that the Miami Dolphins are the front runners to get him. In my opinion, why you should trade for Brian Robinson Jr., understanding that he is a division rival. First, the compensation I would give up to get a guy like that is a 5th round pick. Why? He's on the last year of his deal. The only reason why Washington even wants to consider trading him away is because they got Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt, who they drafted in the 7th round. They have 4 years left on his deal, on his rookie deal. They just signed Austin Eckler in free agency last offseason. So they're fine in which their running back room is looking like. But they also don't want to pay Brian Robinson Jr. if they don't have to. They don't want to acclimate 10% or more just in the running back room, considering that they're going to have to pay Terry McLaurin $25-30 million a year. Then you're going to have Jaden Daniels going to have to pay, and then Marshall Lattimore might need a re-up. You got that cornerback out there, Mike Sanders-Strill. So you're going to have a couple of players that they're going to have to pay. So if you're Washington, they're going to try and cut costs and cut corners financially if they can. And I think one of those will be Brian Robinson Jr. For me, he's a consistent 1,000-yard back. He can run in between the tackles. He's that type of running back that when you need an inch, when you need a yard, turn around, give it down to Brian Robinson Jr., he's going to be able to make plays. I am understanding and I am knowing the way in which that this roster is constructed. We are relying on that offensive line, 4, 88, 87, 3, and whoever is starting at running back for you to carry the season for most part of the season. We're going to be depending on our offense until defense to get all their reinforcements back from the IR, whether that's Diggs, Josh Butler, Savon Revel Jr., DeMarvin Overshown. We're waiting. We have like 4 or 5 guys that could be impactful players that are on the IR list and working with Brett Brown and the rehab staff right now. If we add Brian Robinson Jr. to our offense, and with a healthy offensive line, and with the way in which BB, Tyler Smith, and Booker are able to move guys at an A and B gap, we're going to be able to do a lot of different things. And then if Terrence Steele's healthy and consistent, and then you either have Nate Thomas or Tyler Guyton being solid for your left tackle, that you want to make this offense Teflon, and you want to make this offense damn near unpenetrable. So that's why once the defense finally gets going and we get our reinforcements back, the team just looks unmesswittable by the time Thanksgiving, Christmas comes around the corner. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm looking to trade for Brian Robinson Jr. He can be 1,000-yard back. That's somebody that you feel comfortable to put the ball in his hands to take the pressure off of 4, 88, 87, and 3. And then you'll have Jaden Blue be your change of pace back. You can keep Phil Maffa, you'll cut Javonte Williams, and you'll cut Miles Sanders if that's what the move, and that's if we trade for a guy like Brian Robinson Jr. Number 2, I'll talk about Breece Hall. I made a separate video talking about that in the summer. So if you guys want a full in-depth breakdown of the player, that's a player that I would like. We should trade for him. Again, compensation is going to be around the same. A young running back that is up for a contract, I'm not willing to give up a 4th-round pick for it, because I can just spend next year's 4th-round pick and possibly dedicate that pick to that position, or spend that pick on a position of need, corner, wide receiver, edge, D tackle, offensive line, whatever the case might be for us next year. Number 3, CJ Okoye. He's a 6'7", 6'8" nose tech that plays for the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens have a crap ton of nose tackles, whether that is Travis Jones, in which they drafted out of Connecticut in 2022. That they heavily invest in that position, so they have a log jam at that position. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'll trade for a guy like him. He's very inexperienced, but that's a guy that can get off the ball. He'll eat up and take up double teams, and that can be a rotational guy that you have with Jay Tuia and Mozzie Smith. These next 2 players after CJ Okoye are nose techs. Daquan Jones out of Buffalo. I had an in-depth breakdown on that. If you want to get your defensive tackle, you should look at Buffalo or the NFC North. I talked about Andrew Billings being a nose tackle for the Chicago Bears, that he was formerly with Matt Eberflus, and he was able to bring really solid production. I believe that if you bring him in, we're going to be fine at that position. But again, I just need rotation to bring in with Mozzie Smith. I need Mozzie Smith to have somebody that he can rely on, or not even necessarily rely on, but that he can come out the game and take a breather with somebody else, and we won't be it won't be bad if we didn't have Mozzie Smith on the field. Now, there's a lot of people and fans that are going to say, well, it doesn't matter if Mozzie Smith's on the field or not. His presence really isn't felt. But it takes 3 to 4 years for these nose tackles to get their act together, professionally, right, on the football field. So Daquan Jones, a nose tackle out of Buffalo. Why? Larry Ogunjobi. They drafted Dwayne Carter, in the 3rd round in 2024. They drafted for that nose tackle out of, I forgot his name. Nose tackle came from Kentucky. A lot of people like to compare it to Chris Jones, but his motor is iffy. I forgot his name. But they drafted him in the 4th round. They already have Ed Oliver, who's the top defensive tackle in the league. Then they have another defensive tackle that I can't think of right now, but they have a crap ton of defensive tackles. I would try to get a veteran nose tech if I can. I like DJ Reader a lot. I talked about him a lot. So they have Tyleek Williams, Levi Onwuzurike, Aleem McNeil. They just, they really like that position. And if I'm able to get a guy like DJ Reader, I would. But Detroit's going to do the smart thing. They're going to keep the veteran around, have Tyleek Williams understand and be up underneath DJ Reader and have them learn for the first couple of years until it's time for DJ Reader to go. Tyleek Williams will step in and he'll be a hell of a player like how he was at Ohio State. Number 7, Romeo Doubs. Yes, the wide receiver out of Green Bay, the Packers. Why do I feel that the Dallas Cowboys should trade for a wide receiver? Yes, we have Trayshawn Holden, which is a Dallas Cowboy and a fan favorite. I know we have Jalen Brooks, who can provide you special teams value, along with already having a connection with Dak Prescott. We have Ryan Flournoy. We have Jalen Tolbert. Dak and CD Pickens are solidified, so was Turpin. They all got contracts. We just gave away valuable draft capital for George Pickens. So that's going to happen, and that's fine with that, right? So, but I just want to add more depth to the wide receiver spot. Why? Because Jonathan Mingo just tore his PCL. He's going to be out for a month. A month and 2 weeks that is what the indication of his injury has been. Thank God he's not out for the season, but he is dealing with something right now. The cheaper option is to go out and go sign Amari Cooper, one of these veteran wide receivers, but I don't think we're going to go back and go get Amari Cooper, in my opinion. But I would like to add another wide receiver. So also when Jonathan Mingo comes back, that's another really good wide receiver that we have added, or another weapon added to this offense. Number 8 and number 9, they're both in the same pool. They're both free agents. I would love Stephon Gilmore to come back. He was a damn good cornerback when he was here for us. He was a really good cornerback last year for the Minnesota Vikings. I would love for him to be back on the team. I would love Asante Samuel Jr. to come by. Again, Bloodlines. He was a better player in the second round, in which he passed over to go draft Bossman Fat for more potential. But I believe you need to come in and you need to sign Asante Samuel Jr. And if that is a guy that can play nickel, or a guy that can UFO fine, he can play inside or out. But if you want to put him on outside, put DeRon Bland inside, and then you have Kyrie Elam, then you'll get Kalen Carson, and then you'll have Israel Mukwamu, who can rotate, and then you'll have those guys ready. Again, more the merrier. I want to have as many weapons as I can possible, and I want to be so Teflon. Not even forget the word Teflon. I just want to have so many good players that once are good players that we think are going to be good, like Trey Diggs, Savon Revel, that we have a lot of stock in. When those come back, you could never not have enough good corners. And even if you feel like you have too many corners, guess what? You can trade. There are teams that need cornerbacks. Look at Miami. There are so many teams that need cornerbacks, but we need to sign some of these cornerbacks because Stephon Gilmore can easily go to Kansas City. He can easily go to some of these teams, these playoff and contender teams, and be that difference maker. But then also, he's a placeholder for those guys, right? Both said can be for Stephon and for Asante Samuel Jr. The last player that I would like the Dallas Cowboys to target that is also a free agent is Raekwon Davis, nose tackle out of Alabama, but he just left the Indianapolis Colts. We just need as much help as I can in the nose tech position until Mozzie has it figured out. I understand we're saying this in his 3rd year, but it normally takes 3 to 4 years for these younger defensive tackles, especially ones that are 2-gap players to stop the run, that are made to stop the run. I need those guys to step up and make plays, but I want to have as many talented players as we can because we're going up against a team that has a crap ton of talent, and if you're not talented enough, it doesn't matter how great your X's and O's are. Sometimes Jimmy and Joe's will win you games more than X's and O's. So that's it. Those are my 10 players. Brian Robinson Jr., running back, trade for him. Trade for Breece Hall. Trade for one of those 2 backs. These defensive tackles you should look for either Raekwon Davis in free agency. That's the cheapest route. CJ Okoye, you can probably give up a 7th round pick. DeQuan Jones, maybe a 5th or a 6th round pick. DJ Reader, I would love to give up a fifth round pick for. Andrew Billings, I don't mind getting from Chicago if these teams are willing to depart from those nose tackles. I would love to trade for Romeo Doubs. I would love to sign Stephon Gilmore and Asante Samuel because I would just want to add as many cornerbacks as I can to this roster. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.